I told you if you don't know on how to mark your valid break of structure, you will always be at the wrong side of the market. So today I have a very good example before we do a top-down analysis on some few pairs, and I will have an update on some pairs. So before we have that, I have this example that I want us to learn something from it. So in this example here, I have Euro USD. It is a 4-hour time frame, and if you could have marked this as your break of structure to the upside, you would have been in very big trouble. So if you mark this as your break of structure, that means you will be looking for buy trades down here from this origin to the upside, the origin that broke structure to the upside. So, and what is wrong with this break of structure? This is not a valid break of structure because on this other side, price never swept any liquidity on this side before going up to break structure. So that is why this low it is not a good or a strong low. So we expect the market to take out this low before going up to clear the highs liquidity. So if you mark this as the break of structure, you can see that there is no any valid order block that could have given you a good entry. And if you are an aggressive trader, that means you'll have probably been stopped out by this move to the downside. You can see that price cleared this low, and if you don't mark your break of structure correctly, that means your change of character also will be a wrong change of character. So if you mark that as your change of character, that means you'll also be looking for sales from, let's say maybe from this order block. We have this order block. So that means you will be looking for selling opportunity from this area. And if you are an aggressive trader who places orders around their point of interest, that means you will be stopped out by this upward move. You can see clearly that this high later came up, the price later came up to take out this high's liquidity also after taking out the low's liquidity. So that means this is the strong low that is being left behind. This low here swept liquidity, a low that broke structure to the upside and then went back up to sweep this high. So if we have a candle close above this high, we will be having now the valid break of structure. But this one here is not a valid break of structure. So I'll be removing that, and also I'll remove this one because they are not valid break of structures. So you can see that if you mark this as your break of structure, you'll be looking for buying opportunities from down here and will be stopped out. And then after being stopped out, you will mark this as your change of character and then try to look for sales from up here. And then eventually you will be also stopped out. So it is very, very important to understand the concept of a valid break of structure and a liquidity sweep. So I think that is very clear, and this shows how important looking for those valid break of structures is. So that is how important it is, and I think now I can do my analysis now. I have some few pairs that I want to do an analysis on, and they are the same pairs that we did an analysis from the previous video. So I will start with gold. I'll start with gold. So on gold, let me delete this first. Let me delete this. Or let me just leave it so that I can explain. I did my analysis and this is the update. So price tried to react from this support level that I marked for you guys. If you can remember from a video, there is a video I marked that support level and I said if price comes inside here, we will be having a reaction from this point. So price came into this area and this is the reaction to the upside. So Uh, Let me adjust this so that the order block can be very clear. Sorry. Let me try to adjust that so that the zone can be very, very clear. Let me try to adjust that. So what I have done here, I have marked this order block. There is an order block down here, but I have not marked it fully, but let me try to adjust it. This is the last order flow, and I will show you the last order flow. So let me just clear it so that I can have a very good and a complete setup so that everyone can understand. So let me delete that and this one. So on gold, currently we have a very good reaction from this support level. This is the buying momentum. You can see the difference here. We don't have a very good buying momentum, and here we don't also have a buying momentum. But here you can see the buying pressure to the upside. So this gold here, you can see clearly there is a reaction, and I showed in the previous video, if you used my entry model in this area, you could have catched this gold trade to the upside, and the change of character happened in the 5 minutes time frame. A good confirmation, an entry model that is very, very powerful, and I always use this entry model to enter my trades. So if you find a very good trade like this is a very high probability trade. So in this case here, we have this pullback to the upside, and then we have the break of structure. This pullback came up to sweep this inducement, and that means this is the last strong high that was created before the break of structure. And after this break of structure, we have this first pullback. You can see this pullback, and then we have the break to the downside, but this is not a very good pullback. But gold later came back to take this pullback up here, and also this pullback as liquidity. These are both liquidities, this one and this one. Price pulled back, took out these liquidities and went back down to break structure. So after the break of structure, I knew this is the strong high that is being left behind. And if the strong high is taken out, that is a change of character. So price pulled back to take this high, and there I have my change of character. So after the change of character, I entered a trade from this area, and you can see very clearly this is a very good entry model. We have the change of character, and if you enter the trade from this point, you could have been targeting 1 is to 3, or if you want to hold the trade, you enter two trades and then close one trade when it hits 1 is to 3, and then hold the other trade as long as you want, but always remember to put break even if you want to hold any trade. So that was the reaction to the upside. You can see how price was buying to the upside from this area to the upside. So and in that case, I want to mark the last order flow because when price come back down here, we have the last strong high, which is this one. This high swept this inducement. We have this break of structure. You can see this is a pullback, and then we have the break of structure. After this break of structure, the break of structure is not valid because there is no any sweep of liquidity on this side. This is not an inducement, but if this push the market the price pushed if the price pushed this this pullback to the downside to clear this low, we could have had this as our inducement. But for this pullback here, we don't have a good inducement in this area, so this is not a valid break of structure because there is no any liquidity being swept. So price came back to sweep this highs liquidity, and then after that we have the break of structure. So this is the valid break of structure to the downside, and now this makes the origin of the break of structure the strong high. So if the high is being cleared out on this side, we have our change of character, and we'll be looking for buys from down here. So, and I said when a break of structure or a change of character has happened, we take the internal structures as liquidity. So in this case here we have the change of character, and then after the change of character, let me delete that and mark the change of character correctly so that it can be very clear. So that is the change of character. And then after our change of character, we have this order block here. But I don't expect any one of you taking trade from this kind of area. But we will see what price will be giving us. And it is very good for you guys to wait for a good confirmation if price will be making liquidity level, will be forming some liquidity before coming into this area. But I advise you guys to wait for a confirmation in such an area if you are an aggressive trader. But if you are an aggressive trader and you want to look for that A plus setup, it is advisable to be aggressive from this area, from an order block down here after the liquidity has been taken out. So that is where the order block comes in, and I marked the last order flow from the 15 minutes time frame. I like the 15 minutes time frame. So I am going to mark the last order flow that will make my order block. So this is the last break of structure to the downside, and that means this is the last order flow from the high of that, the last higher, the last high, and then from the last strong high to the low. So that will be my order flow, and I'll mark it like that, and I will extend that order block. So this is where I'm going to look for buying opportunities on gold. So that is the point I want us to be very, very keen on. And if you come into the 4 hour time frame, you can see that our change of character is here. And I expect price, if the market opens with a pullback, we will be expecting some selling pressure to this low, take out this liquidity, and then go back up to break structure. But if price will not come back, we'll be looking for opportunities for buying the upside. So I think that is for gold, and it is very clear that we have a very good setup. It is showing us a very good structure that we can we can make use of this opportunity and take it to our own advantage. So I think that is for gold. I expect some buying pressure from this zone, a pullback, and then we look for buys from this area, not this one. But if you want to take a trade from this level, just make sure that price should have some liquidity being formed around this area before approaching this order block. And this order block is that kind of an order block you will want to see a change of character first in the lower time frame before having any entry. So I think that is for gold. So we'll go to the next pair. The next pair is GBP USD. Let's go to GBP USD. So on GBP USD, I told you guys if we don't have any change of character, any value change of character to the upside, we will be waiting for a good confirmation before we enter any trade from this area. And this area was from our daily order block. This was our daily order block. And I told you that I expect price to react from this order block, but instead, if but instead the price took out the order block, and I said that if this low is cleared out, I'll be having my change of character, and I'll be looking for selling opportunities to the downside. So what happened here in the 4 hour time frame? In the 4 hour time frame, this was our last uh, valid break of structure because there was a sweep of liquidity, some sweep of liquidity on this side. If we come into the 1 hour time frame, you can see that this was the only valid break of structure to the upside, and the market came back down, took out this low, and then we have the buying pressure. This was news, and we have the buying pressure to the upside, and for me, I expect some selling pressure from above here to the downside. So we will be looking for sales. Let me see if I can have a very good area that we should be looking for sell. So on the daily time frame, there is no any valid order block. This order block here does not have any fair value gap, but we want to see a reaction from this area to the downside. So I'll be looking for a good change of character, and if I have a very good confirmation, I'll be updating you guys on Wednesday. So make sure you are here, subscribe, like, share, and comment on anything you want me to discuss about. So I have this order block. Let me refine my order block today. This 4 hour order block. I have this order block up here that is good, but there is no any fair value gap. So instead of just going to enter into the market aggressively, you should at least try to look for a good confirmation from such an area. So, and I want to tell you one thing, that if you don't have any good order block to have your entry, that just make sure that you don't enter any position unless you have a confirmation. So in this scenario, we don't have any order block in this area, and that means we will not enter because there is no any point of interest. So and the market can just decide to go and clear this high because there is no any point of interest, and that will mean that this is not a correct change of character. So I will be expecting to see a confirmation before I take any decision of making an entry from this area to the downside. So kindly wait patiently and see if we can have a very good confirmation to the downside. So that is on GBPUSD. I expect to have some selling pressure from let's say maybe around this area, and then the stop loss will be above here, but this trade will be valid if we have a correct change of character. So if we don't have any change of character, that means we will not have any entry from this high to the downside. So I think that is very simple for GBPUSD. But on GBPUSD, there is no any clear structure up here. For those who trade patterns, you can say that this is a head and shoulder pattern, and you will be looking for the break of the neckline to the upside. But for now, let us be patient and try to see what price will be doing around this area. So I think that is it for GBPUSD. Let's go to USD JPY. I have an update on USD JPY. So on the 4 hour time frame, let me just analyze it from the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, we had this pullback. This is a very good pullback, and then we have the break to the downside. But price later came back, had a very good pullback, and then went back down to break structure after sweeping these highs liquidity. And this is a valid break of structure because there is a sweep of liquidity. So after the break of structure, if this high is going to be taken out, that means we have our change of character to the upside. Although we don't have any structure being formed, this is the only structure that is being formed. And that means when the price clear this high, we have our change of character. So we have a clear change of character at this point, a very good one at that. And that is our change of character. So, and after the change of character, all the internal internal structures become liquidity. So this low and this low are both liquidity, and we will be looking for buy entries from down here. So in this case here we have this 4-hour order block already mitigated by this pullback. But what I will be doing here, I will mark the last order flow that was being formed, let's say maybe from the 30 minutes time frame or the 15 minutes time frame. I will try to look for the last order flow and see if the price taps into that area. And this is a very good setup because we have the liquidity just above the area, and then we have the valid change of character to the upside. So I'll be expecting buys from down here to the upside, and that is very clear. So let me try to mark the last order flow from the origin of that law that went back up to change character. So the last order flow here, I think, is this one. We have this pullback and then we have the break to the downside. So this is the last order flow. So I mark the low from the low to the high of that order flow. So sorry, let me adjust it. So that is the last order flow, and that will be my point of interest. So I expect to see a very good change of character in my lower time frame. My entry model must be there. I want to see my entry model being validated before I take any trade from that area. So some people can mark this 1 hour order block from this high to this low, but for me, I'll mark the last order flow and see if the price will come back into that low. So in this scenario here, I see there is a tap into the last order flow, but I still expect price to push back down a little bit, form a very good change of character before going to the upside. So what we will be expecting the market to do, I expect the market to to come back down, form a very good. I want to see a very good change of character, and the entry model that I want to see in this kind of area, I want to see something like this. Let me sketch something that I want to see in this scenario. So I want to see something like this. I want to see something like this before I have my entry. So I want to see something like this. I want to see price sweeping a liquidity, an inducement before going down to break structure. And then after the break of structure, now this high will be the strong high because it swept the liquidity. And then after that, if the high is being taken out, I will have my change of character and I will have my entry from the 50% level. So this will be the change of character. And after having that change of character, now I will be looking to take a trade from the 50% level of that upward move. So I'll be having my entry from such an area to the upside. So let me try and do that. So I'll be taking a trade from that area and put the stop loss just below that level that was being taken out as the change of character, and I will take that trade. So I expect price to push back down because this is not a valid pullback or a valid inducement. I'll expect price to pull back down, move back up, and then form sweep this high as the liquidity before going back down to break structure, and then we will have the change of character before we look for any entry. But in case price tries to push up without any confirmation, we'll be looking for buy opportunities to join the continuation to the upside. So in that case, we will be looking for buys from this area. And if we don't have a correct confirmation and we get that the price is trying to buy aggressively without any confirmation, we just try to look for buying opportunities from the continuation trend to the upside. So I think that that is very clear, and I expect GBP USD to be giving us a very good confirmation before we have the entry. So we will be very patient, and I think that is my setup on USD JPY. I'll be looking for buys from down here to the upside. So I expect the market to go back up from this low, break structure to the upside. So the target should be here, a realistic target. And this target should be a target that, uh, let's say maybe you have opened two positions, close one when the price comes to 1 is to 3, and then try to maximize the profits with the other position to this high. So I think that is it for USD JPY. So let me know what you think about these pairs in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that you cannot miss out on any update that I will be giving you on Wednesday.